Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I shall see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we'll be relaxing as per usual. Yes. So, what are we going to talk about today? I don't really know. I don't know what noise that was. That was a whole nother noise you've never before heard. I'm trying to think. What was them? Oh yes, parade. That was thing afterwards, right? Because the thing I spoke out yesterday was Harajuku, right? Yeah, that sounds right. I should also check. Do I even have videos coming, like scheduled up for tomorrow and stuff? I do. Okay, noted. I need to make a thumbnail for I'd have seen Sky. But good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 11:43 PM on Thursday, June 11th, 2026. Yes, I mentioned it in some of the Animal Crossing videos, but I'm not going to be here Friday, Saturday, at least evening. Oh, my stream deck is broken. So I've got some pre-recorded episodes coming out for those 2 days, and then I'll be back on Sunday. And yeah, World Cups started today. You're like, oh, Olaf. I'm completely wrong. I thought you were Antonio or something. But now I think about it, that's a different anteater. Honestly, your tail works really well with a wedding dress. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. What was I going to say? And, yeah, World Cup started today. I don't know who won. All I know is Mexico versus... I don't know. What? World Cup. I would say Firefox has been giving me a notification like every single day being like, oh, hey, World Cup's happening in XYZ days, and I was like, okay. South Korea and Czechia next. Canada, Bosnia, Herzegovina. Full match schedule. There's a lot, but honestly, a lot going on. Well, we're starting out slow and then going up to 5 games a day, my word. When's England's first game? Croatia? 17th of June? That seems too far away. I can't spell England. I can't spell. Really? Okay, fair enough then. No, what I was gonna say is, yeah, that's all on the side. All that good stuff. I just need to finish packing. I mean, I'm only packing for like a couple of days, so it really won't take very long, thankfully. And yeah. What am I going to talk about? Oh yes, so the next thing we did in Japan, I'm not sure if it's actually, weirdly enough, like it's a big thing, but it's not as much for me to really talk about, I think. But we went to Asakusa, Thundergate and all, you know, main thing, but there was also, the main part was, so I guess I'll combine a lot of things. There was a festival kind of thing. I honestly cannot remember what on earth a festival was called, mind you. Asakusa Festival May? Matsuri, that's it. The Free Shrine Festival. Which is one I had actually never heard of before, to be honest. But it was going on basically while we were there, which was very fortunate. I don't know how I'd never heard of this one before. I don't think I've been in Japan during May time, to be fair. Because I have been doing different. Like the first time I went to Japan, I was there during Tanabata, so we went to a Tanabata festival, that was actually a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. Second time I went to Japan, it was over Halloween, so I did see the Shibuya Halloween stuff. It's just insanely busy. Like I don't know what to say. Like I could say Tanabata, we went to a smaller town outside, and it was basically just like a street festival thing. Honestly, a lot of fun. Halloween, just insanely busy. Literally just absolutely packed. Full of people. And Matsuri was like it was kind of more like a parade is probably how I describe it. Like, didn't know what to expect. Didn't really know where it started, to be honest. But one of my friends like found the place where it started, and basically it's just a load of people just sort of walking through. There's like big like sort of parade loads, and there's like people playing with drums as well. I don't know necessarily every single personal thing that came through or the significance of them. A lot of very cool sort of like outfits, but like, yeah, I don't know. It was a lot of music. It was just sort of like a a nice sort of spectacle thing. I think the cool part was like there was some like women who were like dressed as like cranes or something, walking through, and they did like a little dance thing. I mean, most of the people did do a dance thing, I'm not gonna lie. Unfortunately, I don't really know much about the significance of it necessarily, so I can't really comment on what one thing or another particularly meant. But yeah, this is what we have Wikipedia for. Sanja Matsuri, Sanja Festival. It's one of the wildest and largest in Japan. I don't know how I didn't know about it. Actually, no, that's not true, because I actually do kind of know about it. Because I think it's like, isn't it one of the famous photos of like people bringing it and they're all like, in my mind they're all like topless or something, and it looks incredibly crowded. Isn't that a thing? Sanja Matsuri. Like there's a really famous photo of it, I think. Maybe that's not Sanja Matsuri, I might just be making it up, to be honest. But it is a very fascinating festival, I'm not gonna lie. It was interesting. Oh yeah, that was it, the Mikoshi, portable shrines. And it's about 3 of them being sort of like paraded around, to be honest. 1.5 to 2 million. Like, the photos they have here in Wikipedia are insane. Like, it was not nearly this crowded when we went. Like, literally, like, the wait by the parade was like maybe like 2 or 3 depth of people, if that makes sense. So generally not all that many people, all things considered. So yeah, it was cool, you know. I played the video so I could actually remember what was going on, but I'm also not going to play it because who knows what happens in these videos. Oh, I do remember, yes, beforehand, I guess I'll do a 2-part sort of conversation here. Beforehand, grabbed some food, grabbed a karaoke, a katsu karaoke thing, and then I can't remember what this other thing we had was. I don't know, it was just like very popular stuff, and honestly very good. And then afterwards, it's like a grab bag sort of thing of what we all did. Afterwards, I think we split up again. Like, well, some of them went to like the stationery stores, which I went to on the first day with some friends, and then someone else went to go see a shrine, I think. I went with another friend to go to Kitchen Town, where we now Cats Out of Bags secretly bought a fancy knife for my friend's birthday. It was very cool. Oh yeah, we also, I completely forgot about this. We went to like a patisserie place, like a vegan patisserie store thing, and I bought like a Mont Blanc cake. I can't remember what my friends bought, to be honest. They probably remember, but I don't. There's not nice stuff. And then, oh yeah, we went to see the Kabuki show. But that's actually kind of crazy because the Kabuki show, if you don't know, is also very traditional. So, like, there's a lot of traditional Japanese things we engage with today. Today? What? Back then? Not today. But the Kabuki show is interesting. It's a classical form, like very traditional and classical form of Japanese theatre, which I don't know how I necessarily described it. It's very, very highly decorated is probably what I'd say. Like the get up and like the makeup is like very, very like large amount of like stage makeup, and it has like such an interesting way of sort of like speaking. Like it's really weird because not weird. Okay, well, weird, not derogatory, but like my thought about it is weird because my first reaction to it, like I love theatre. Absolutely. I sort of eat that sort of stuff up. I couldn't get into a Kabuki show, like, at all. Like, genuinely, I actually fell asleep during it. Which I know that sounds very rude and disrespectful. I guess probably it was, if anything, we were sitting there and it was dark. And I guess probably the exhaustion of the holiday probably caught up to me, to be honest, at that point. And I often say this, like, when I'm sitting there and I'm not actively doing something, my body and brain just goes, oh, might as well sleep, right? Sleepy time. Because what else are we going to do? Like, I really wanted to get into it. I really wanted to engage and love it, but I don't know. I just couldn't necessarily. I thought it was really fascinating though, looking back at it. I cannot tell you what the plot was because the plot was so. It was like we watched the first part of like a 6-part thing technically or something, and I can't remember. It was like something to do with families, and then like, I can't even remember who was who, to be honest. Oh, hello, Dom. And it was both very, very interesting, and also I'm surprised at how much it didn't appeal to me, weirdly enough. And you might be like, oh, maybe it was like a language barrier. And I was like, okay, well, I to be fair, I didn't really understand what they were saying. Like, I know Japanese conversationally, I say. I couldn't really understand what they were saying in the Kabuki show. But we did have like a tablet which basically translated into English what was happening and what was going on. So it's not like I didn't understand what was going on. This just was the plot that engaging. It was, I mean, I guess not notable enough for me to remember, which is bad for me to say. I did really like the performers, that's the word, like outfits, the makeup and all that sort of thing. And yeah, I don't know. Like, my thoughts to my friends afterwards is that we were just like, maybe if like we think the plot wasn't that engaging, to be honest. Because there have been a lot of theatre performances I've really loved, despite not knowing like what it was saying. Like Marriage of Figaro, that's a big one as well. That was like an Italian. I assume it's Italian, if I remember correctly. But they also had like subtitles around stage as well. Like, didn't know what they were saying. Really hard to understand what they were saying as well, because they were like singing it in such an operatic way. Loved it. It was amazing. But there was a lot of very interesting things, which I think looking back on, I do like. What I said this after I watched the thing is like, I would like to give this another try, but maybe not with this particular show necessarily. Maybe with a different story. And looking back on it, yeah, I agree. I would like to give Kabuki another try, you know. I think maybe it's something which I need to prep more going into it. I need to understand more what's going on. Because it's not been like we have a theatre shows where you can just sort of sit down. Do I know what's going on? Nope, sit down. Enjoy it anyway. This one I think I need to actually engage with like the understanding behind it, you know. But there's a lot of very interesting things which I still don't really know. Like one part, or multiple times, have a Kabuki like what they were doing there, like acting portions where it was like people off the stage, like in the corner, like it sounded like behind us, going like yelling things out, which I don't really understand what that's about. Kabuki, audience yelling things out, shouts from the audience. Kakigoe. Okay. Shouts and calls and performances of traditional Japanese music in Kabuki theatre. My thought was like this is the traditional version of like calls and responses that you have in concerts or something. Interesting. Genuinely didn't know how, like, I didn't know what that was. And so my friends asked me afterwards, like, what was that? And I was like, genuinely, no clue. But yeah, it was very, very, very fascinating. And I think it was also a very interesting way that they speak in Kabuki. And it actually, if anything, kind of reminds me of like how in Chinese operas, there's like a very unique way of speaking. But I actually quite like Chinese operas. It's interesting. I don't know much about it, other ones parts I've seen. I'm like, yeah, I've engaged with. So I think this is like the same sort of thing. But I also understand that Chinese opera is also like a really weird thing, I think, for if you're not familiar with it, the way they speak is crazy to get used to, you know. So I think maybe this is a very similar sort of thing, you know, like a sidestep. So yeah, that was Kabuki Theatre. Did I engage with it too much? Did it resonate with me? No. Am I going to give it another try? Yeah, probably. Like, I can absolutely see myself giving it another try. And maybe like reading the plot beforehand or something, so I understand conceptually more what's going on. I mean, okay, I don't think it was a very, saying that, I don't remember the story, but I don't think it was a conceptually very difficult story, mind you. It was just something like, it was something about like a family, and there was like infiltrating by pretending to be someone else, and I don't even can't remember anymore. Anyway, other final thing that we did is we went to Tokyo Skytree, I think, was it? Get some really nice views. I like it. I always think it's really nice to get cool views, to be honest. Long way for the elevator up. That's what I remember. And I remember, I do remember, we tried to go down, but then we couldn't because it was like, it was too long a wait to go down, and then we had to cancel our like dinner reservation, which was like at a temporary restaurant. I can't even remember what we had for dinner. Then I felt like I just had cake, which is weird. No, I probably had something from 7-Eleven. I don't remember what though. like go on Nikiri or something. Yeah. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I think if you like nice views of a city even, I would recommend it. Like, I really love visit of a night cityscape view. That's like, I don't know, something about the twinkling lights of a city. For some reason appeals to me. I think, I was actually thinking about this, I can't remember if maybe I said this to someone or not, maybe I just thought about it. About why I like it, and I think it's because like all those lights, you know, even though not in a literal sense, but figurative sense, like each of those lights represents, you know, a soul or person down there. And that sort of like brings on, you know, the feelings of sonder, as it's so described. The feelings that like people out there with, you know, just as rich a life as yours, with just as interesting stories, happiness, sadness. Someone out there is probably having the best day of their lives, someone out there is probably having the worst day of their lives, but each of those lights just representative of a soul of a person. And I think to me that's, I don't know, there's a certain beauty in that, which I deeply appreciate. So yeah, quite a grab bag of many different things that we did. There's also a Blue Lock collaboration going on. I don't know anything about Blue Lock, but yeah. So we had festival, Kabuki, Japanese knives, Skytree, vegan cake, Mont Blanc cake. I didn't really talk much about knives, because I didn't stay there for too long. Like the ultimate goal was like me and my friend, we were like, we got to get a knife, and then we found this nice kitchen knife store, and it was like super narrow, like literally like it was wide enough for one person to fit through, and it was like a corridor with just knives on either side, and it was like two of these like right next to each other. It was so cramped and crowded, and it was honestly, I just walked in and I was just like, I don't really know what we're looking for a knife, to be honest. So it's like something which looked nice, and my friend was like, probably something we want something which has nice maintenance or easy maintenance, you know, like stainless steel one or something. Yeah, we got a very nice knife. I can't even remember what type of knife it was, mind you. I don't even know if we have a photo. I don't even think I took a photo. I think I actually on purpose didn't take a photo because I knew I would add my stuff to the photo album, and if I forgot to remove it, my friend might be like, oh, interesting. But yeah. Yeah, Skytree was kind of cool. I also think there was a Pokemon Center in Skytree. Oh yeah, and then we just had a load of different Japanese assorted sweets from that vegan place, which you bought. I can't remember which one I really liked, to be honest. I'm looking at them, but there was one of them I actually really liked. I mean, the Mont Blanc cake was pretty good. Maybe it was the Mont Blanc cake. I don't know. Anyway, I'm out now. I'm going to round this episode up here. So, yeah, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to title this episode, but I'll figure it out. So, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been dear darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.